and a very good morning and a warm welcome to you. And as usual, I like to start the show with, yes, my own version of a Sunday sermon. And in a sense, I think this is a moment where I see change coming, and I want to embrace that and, in a sense, sing loudly from the choir stalls and from the rafters, because I think actually, the more I've looked at it, this is going to be a year of change and also a year of U-turns. And it's not just England overnight in the cricket avoiding defeat for the first time in this Ashes series. My goodness me, the cricket fans amongst you will know just how close that was. No, there's much, much more than that. The big change, of course, is that we're going to be moving away from COVID dominating everything. We're going to move away, for example, from free mass testing. I had Dr. Clive Kay on earlier in the week, and he said we should stop testing altogether. And his view is important because he was the former chair of the vaccine task force. And I think that debate now, it's a legitimate debate. We're allowed to discuss some of these things that we couldn't discuss just weeks ago. So I think there's big change coming in the issue of testing. The Sunday Times today reporting that free testing may end quite soon. And I think there's also change coming again to the isolation period. Within just weeks, I think it'll be reduced from 7 days to 5 days. And you had Nadeem Sahawi just in the last 48 hours saying that actually he would support that if the advisors recommended it. I think that's significant. I really, really do. And I think there'll be change to some of the advisors that the government has been listening to. And I've called for that before, and I think it's coming. I think there'll be more challenge to some of the advisors. More and more people are now really beginning to question the wisdom of some of the previous COVID policies. So that's good. And there's other change coming. I think finally, actually, government policy may start to change. It may start to U-turn. It may even start to actually listen to some common sense. Because there is a massively, hugely important intervention in today's Mail on Sunday from none other than the former Brexit minister. Yes, Lord Frost, who resigned dramatically that Saturday night just before Christmas. He's in the Mail today, a big double-page spread. You've got to read it. Just get hold of a copy by whatever means. Fascinating headline. Right leader, wrong people, wrong policies. I'll just repeat that. Right leader, wrong people, wrong policies. Pretty dramatic stuff. So he's supporting Boris as the Prime Minister. I'm sure you've all got your views on that. But what he's saying is he's got the wrong advisors around him, he's listening to the wrong people, and he's got the wrong policies. You couldn't get more succinct, more dramatic, more significant intervention from a former cabinet minister who resigned on principle, and all credit to him. A man who actually believes in Brexit. And he said, actually, he's a man after my own heart. Maybe I can get him to join me. He said that we've got to cut taxes. Well, I've been calling for that for a year. He said we've got to change our energy policy. Well, I've been calling for that for a year. This is a really significant intervention. You've got others like Jacob Rees-Mogg calling for taxes to be cut, for certain the national insurance increases to be reversed. So I think there's change coming. I think the door is opening, and I don't think it's going to shut again. We've got a U-turn coming possibly as soon as tomorrow on the cladding scandal. And again, I've been calling for dramatic change to the government's woeful policy on cladding since last March. I put forward a detailed proposal. I'll be talking to Sir Peter Bottomley later about what he thinks should happen. I think change is coming. I think there will be a U-turn on this mad mandate, in my view. I think it's mad, but you may have a different view. Give us a call. This mandate to vaccinate, compulsory vaccinations for NHS staff and social care staff. And we'll be talking later to the head of a big social care group. But I think change is coming on that. I think there'll be a U-turn on vaccine passports. They've been tried all over the world. And guess what? We now know the real world evidence, forget the theories, forget the computer models, the real world evidence is They don't work. They make zero difference. I mean, look at Wales, for example. They've had vaccine passports and their COVID rates, cases per 100,000, they're higher than England. There we go. I think there'll be a U-turn on masks. I think there's change coming on that after the ludicrous evidence, in inverted commas, released this week by Nadeem Zahawi. I think there's change coming on the national insurance tax rise. I think that'll be either reduced or hopefully scrapped. Frankly, we should be cutting taxes hard for the least well off, the lowest paid and smaller businesses. That's how you get growth. And the other big change that's coming is on gas and energy policy. Yes, I think as the government sees these gas prices soaring, energy prices going through the roof, literally in people's homes, then I think they will realise that either they change or there's going to be a revolt. I think also, and I'm possibly being a bit optimistic, I hope not naive here, I think there's change coming on the woke debate, the culture wars, the woke warriors. Indeed, even Lord Frost referred to it as an important battle that he didn't think that the Conservative government was dealing with appropriately enough, properly enough. There's only one area that I can really think of, but you might have your own views, that I sadly feel there won't be any change coming, and that is the growth in the number of illegal channel crossings. I think that will increase as opposed to decrease. That's my one concern, that's my biggest concern, where there won't be change. But my glass is always half full. It's never half empty. At this time of the morning, of course, it's full of coffee or water. But I do think change is coming. But call me whether you think change is coming or whether you fear not.